Hello again, this is BGFH back here for another assistive technology video, and this time I'd like to talk a little bit about a suite of products. Over the next few videos I'll actually be talking about a suite of products from Serotek Corporation. That's S-E-R-O-T-E-K. And the products I'm going to be talking about are from the System Access family. System Access is a relatively new screen reader, I guess compared to a lot of the ones that people may be familiar with, JAWS or Window Eyes, let's say. But over the last few years, I think I learned about it in 2006 and started playing with it a little bit, and then got my own copy shortly thereafter, and it's gotten better, and I've been using it a lot ever since. So System Access, like I said, is made by Serotek, and it is a screen reader, but it has a few differences. It works a little bit differently in some ways. I mean, there's definitely some unique qualities about it. And some of those this video may not have too many of those. I'll just kind of show you a little bit of how it works, but once we start getting into the next couple of videos, we'll really go into a lot more of the unique aspects of it. So System Access, like I said, it's a Windows screen reader, and the nice thing about it is that it's cheaper than the traditional screen reader. I won't go through all of the payment options because you can buy it outright. You can pay like $400 if you want to just buy it. If you want to buy it with the, if you want to pay $500, you can get basically 2 licenses, so you can put it on 2 computers, and then it also comes with the ability, if you pay the $500, if you want to install it onto a USB thumb drive. So any USB thumb drive that you have laying around, I would say 4 to 8 gigs or better, just, so you can have some of your other stuff on there as well. It's not really that big, but the nice thing is that I can have it installed on my computer, or I can have it on these thumb drives, and because I don't actually have to install it if I don't want to, I can run it right from the thumb drive. So I can walk over to a friend's computer, family's computer, or go into a classroom or computer lab or a library or public computer where maybe they have, for good reason, they have their computers locked down and they don't want people installing things. So if you need the speech, System Access may be a great way to go. And another variation of that, which I will definitely be covering in the next video or so, makes it even cooler. So with that, I will do a little demonstration of and show you how it works. One of the nice things is you can get a lot of different voices for it. You can, you start out, if you use there's a free version of it available, which I kind of just gave away, but I'll talk more about that one in the next video. But that one you start out with, and you have Espeak, which is a very, very robotic synthesizer. I really don't care for it much myself, but it's usable. I think they use it because it has a really small footprint. It really doesn't take much to download. But then you can get high quality voices. The one, my favorite, I guess, would be the NeoSpeech Kate and NeoSpeech Paul voice. I primarily use Kate, and I'll show you what that sounds like here. I'll go to my Start menu.
Start menu. Search programs and files. Search box. Editable text. System Access. Camtasia Studio 8 submenu. Microsoft Office Word 2003. Windows Live Movie Maker submenu. Notepad submenu. Start button.
Okay, I'll go to my desktop.
Desktop list. System access. Size 932 bytes. Item type. Shortcut. Date modified. August 22nd, 2012. Recycle bin.
So I'm just arrowing
Safari.
around.
Size 2.43 kilobytes. Item type. Shortcut.
Everything like that, it works just as you expect it would. If you're familiar with a screen reader, you can use keyboard commands to control everything, and you can also, have it read back to you. And if you're familiar with a screen reader, you still use your standard commands, your Windows M or your Windows D to go to your desktop. and then you can arrow around or use your first letter navigation. It still works the same way. You can go through your start menu just like you're used to if you're using JAWS or WindowEyes. Everything like that works the same way. And another thing that I thought was really kind of nice actually is that if you do know how to use JAWS, if you are currently or have been a JAWS user, you can pretty much learn system access in a couple of minutes, a few minutes tops, because a lot of the core commands that you would use are almost exactly the same. You have a few differences here and there, and I'll point those out along a couple of those out along the way. But let's say that I want to say the time, insert F12 or modifier F12.
5:54 p.m. Monday, September 10th, 2012.
Perfect. If I want to go to the system tray and access my stuff there, insert F11 maybe?
Click a system tray icon. List, Steam, Amazon Cloud Drive, undefined, Dropbox 1.4.7, all files up to date.
So,
taskbar.
Okay, that works. My insert T for title or modifier T for title.
Taskbar.
And before I go any further, I should also mention that it uses the same kind of insert key or modifier key structure that JAWS would. I can use the insert key on the number pad or the regular insert key like in the 6-pack or on a laptop, or I can use my caps lock key or the scroll lock key if I really want to. So, and you don't have to customize them, they all just work. So you can, if you're in the middle of typing and you just want to use the caps lock, go for it. And then if you're just wanting to do something else and you want to use the number pad, you can do that too. So it doesn't matter, you don't have to set any of that up, it just works. So a lot of the commands work almost identically to JAWS. The main difference is they don't layer on some of the commands that JAWS does, for better or for worse. I mean, if you're a new computer user, it makes things a lot easier to learn. For instance, if
Start
I go
menu,
into
search programs and
Word,
files.
I'm just going to go into Word.
Word, Windows Explorer, blank, list. Start button.
Sorry about that.
Start menu. Microsoft Office Word 2, Word, taskbar. Document 1, Microsoft Word.
Sorry about that. Okay, so we're in a blank Word document, and just like any other screen reader, I can type.
Hello. This is just a demo of system access.
Now, I have mine set to echo every word as I type, so every time I hit a spacebar or punctuation, it'll say the word that I typed. You can have it echo every character if you want to, or say nothing. But what I was kind of getting at is some of the keys is that, let's say with JAWS, you can use your modifier left and right arrow and different things to navigate by, word or whatever. System access kind of goes with the philosophy of if there are commands to do it in Windows or a very common program like Microsoft Office, we'll just use those. Why reinvent the wheel? So, I can use my Control Home.
Hello, this is just a demo of system access.
Go to the top of the document. I can arrow left and right.
E-L-L-O space T-A-I-S-I.
Then if I hit Control left and right, because that's just built into Windows or Office or whatever.
Is just a demo. A just is. This is.
So boom. I mean, all of those things are, they just work like that. So not quite as many keys to learn, but it works very well in Word or in Office in general. Granted, yeah, I know I'm using a really, really old version of Microsoft Word, but I just haven't bothered updating it at home. I do use it with Office 2010 at work. And for the most part, it works very well. I don't really have any problems with it in Word. With what I do, there are some issues, mainly in Outlook. I do use Outlook at work. And especially as far as reading emails, it's not too bad. It generally works pretty well there. But the calendar, if you plan on using that, you will have some difficulty there, especially if you're trying to do shared calendars. That gets to be rather interesting at times, but combined with the Windows 7 magnifier, I mean, I know if you can't see it all, you don't have that luxury, but between that and mostly using system access, I can do, and I do use JAWS from time to time at work as well, but like I said, I've rather kind of gotten used to, and I really kind of starting to like System Access. So I can do most of what I want to do with it, even on my job. I'm going to close out a Word here.
Microsoft Office.
No, I don't want to save. It's going to work anywhere you expect it to, just like you would any other screen reader. Like I said, I already went to the system tray. I can go to the control panel. I can go to Microsoft Office or email. It's a little weird with Windows Live Mail, but it does work. I typically don't use Windows Live Mail. I either use Outlook or just use a web interface for most of my email accounts, or actually I mainly use my phone to check my email nowadays. But I can pop open the internet for you real
Start
quick.
menu. Search programs and files. Start button.
Actually, let's do it this way.
Taskbar. Windows Internet Explorer. Tab.
And again, there's my Giant
Bomb is the world's largest
editor. I'll shut it up there. One of the things that I really like about System Access, actually there's a few things that I really like, and a lot of it is a lot of things I do on the computer I do on the internet. So with System Access, I find that it works very well on the internet, and I actually kind of like the way it works a little better than JAWS, really, for a few reasons. First, I have some vision, so System Access does use a lot of the same quick navigation keys, like H for heading, N for next non-linked text, E for edit box, F for form, X for checkbox, whatever. It uses all of those things. But as a low vision user, a lot of times, I can see a block of text, like, oh, that looks interesting, or maybe there's a part that does not read particularly well with standard keyboard commands. Sometimes System Access, if I actually physically move my mouse, I'm going to grab it over here.
Quick look. Mark of the Ninja. Read only text. Blank.
Okay, well, it said read only text, but it's a link, but I can tell that.
Brad and his flowy cape of justice, exact, bloody, merciless revenge on nearsighted guards.
Alright, fair enough. So, I'm just moving my mouse over stuff, and I do have a mouse echo
Wiki page.
feature.
Steam's Big Picture Mode launch, the big step towards making the PC experience in the living room way better. Read only text.
All right,
http
so
www. Steam's Big Picture Mode launches in beta today 66. The big step towards making the PC experience in the living room way better. Link.
Steam's Big Picture Mode launches in beta today 66. The big step towards making the PC experience in the living room way better. Heading level 3. Link. Steam's Big Picture Mode launches in beta today. Heading. The big step towards making the PC experience in the living room way better. By Patrick Klepek. Set 10. 2012. Button. +1. 3. Tweet. 15. This page has been shared 15 times. View these tweets. This page has been shared 15 times. View these tweets. Button. Like. 7. Button. Steam's Big Picture. Button. Play. Button. Share. Button. More info. We seem to be talking about Valve quite a bit these days, huh? In addition to sparking speculation with a job posting for an industrial engineer, launching.
Now the reason I let it read a little ways, normally I would just shut it up and let it go on it, I'll go on my merry way doing what I want to do. But what I wanted to illustrate here is one of the other reasons that I really like System Access is because you notice, if you can see
The engineer behind Vida's first.
what happened is I have a whole bunch of content across the top of this web page. I've got this edit box, I've got
Gift
this,
a premium
this
membership.
line up
Visit the
here.
store. Read.
I've got all these links across this red bar up here. I
The
got a
the
bunch of
develop
crap
worth-
up
the worth-
here, some popular articles or videos or whatever. But what System Access did is when I clicked on that link on the Giant Bomb homepage, I went and I just let it start reading. It actually skipped all that crap, and it
Steam's Big Picture
started
Mode launches in beta today.
with this headline of the actual article. So if you're actually wanting to use it to like read a lot of news or just jump to, like read a blog and just, jump to, or any website for that matter, it works great on Amazon because it skips that left sidebar, it skips the, a lot of the top, a lot of the top navigation bar stuff. So, and it really gets you, a lot of times, it's not perfect, but it gets you to a lot of, the bulk of the page, which is what you want anyway. So, especially if you're just reading an article, it works great for that, and I really just makes it just speeds up the web a lot, especially if you're new to a screen reader and you really just want to get to the content you really want to read. That's one feature that I really like. I'm going to go to Amazon real quick just to show you another feature, and I'm hoping that it actually, I think Google has it too. Let me go to Google.
Open. Type the internet address.
Google. Now listen to this. Hopefully it works.
Steam's Big Picture Mode launches in beta today. Giant Bomb tab. Launching an indie-focused marketplace embroiled in controversy. Search. Editable text. Blank.
Okay, it didn't do it. Let me try Amazon real quick.
Open. Add Google tab.
'cause we
Search.
know-
Editable text. Blank.
Come on. Yes. Okay, there we go. That's exactly what I wanted to hear. You notice that little chime, and it said seesaw. What that is that is another really cool web feature for system access. And what it means is that, I forget exactly what it stands for, but I think it's something like Community Supported Accessible Web? Something like that. But what it actually means is that if you are using system access and you come to a web page, you know, if you're a screen reader user, I'm sure we've all been to web pages that are not very, shall we say, screen reader friendly. But what it does is I can go through that web page if I have a little bit of knowledge of how the internet works and I take a little bit of time. I find some unlabeled links. Maybe they're graphical links or little button things. I can label those so that next time I come back, they will actually be labeled and I know where the heck I'm going. But the beauty of that is not only can I label it for myself, after I label all of these things and make this website work for me, I can publish those changes that I made, or I can publish those settings that I changed for system access to the remote, or the the Serotek servers, and then anyone else who comes to that page, so anyone else who comes to Amazon, whoever labeled that page, I can get the same benefit they do when I visit, because you'll hear that seesaw tune. That tells you that some system access member has gone through that website and made some improvements to make it more screen reader friendly. Now you can't use that, you can't go there with JAWS and get those same benefits, but if you are using any variation of their system access program, you get those benefits, and that's actually really pretty cool. I've actually fixed a few websites, not for a little while, but I've done it in the past before. So that's another way that I think system access is very nice. Before we wrap up this first video, I'll take you into the settings area and show you a little bit else what's available.
System access menu. Connect to the system access mobile network. Yes.
Now that option you may or may not have if you're just using the free version or a limited version. I'll talk about the system access mobile network in a future video coming up here. But we'll just ignore that for now.
Preferences.
Preferences. I'll come back to that in a minute.
DocuScan Plus. D.
DocuScan Plus. This is another add-on that I will demonstrate in a future video. That's actually pretty cool. I really like it.
Remote control another computer. C.
Remote control another computer. That is awesome. I use that quite a bit actually, and I'll explain how that ties into their stuff in a future video as well.
My account. A.
My account, that'll just take me to where I can change my setting or change my account preferences or add services, buy new products, whatever.
Install system access mobile on a USB drive.
So
U.
I already have a USB thumb drive that I'm not using right now, but if I wanted to, I could install one.
Submit a program that works well with system access.
Pretty
B.
self-explanatory. I can submit to their list of programs that I've tried that work well with system access.
Help and tutorials submenu.
Help and
H.
tutorials. I'll pop into there briefly just to show you what's there in a minute.
Shutdown system access. Modifier
And-
plus F4.
And what a coincidence, modifier F4, just like JAWS.
Connect to the system access mobile network. S.
I should mention actually, the way that I brought this menu up is modifier F. So like if you're comparing it to JAWS again, let's say, and you do insert J or caps lock J, same thing except modifier F as in Frank. So that's really one of the main changes, is that if you get that down, you can at least get to your settings and do stuff that way. I'm going to go into preferences real quick.
Preferences. System access preferences. System access preferences. 1. General preferences.
And we just got a little simple, all of their little preferences and settings and account things and stuff, they're like little simple web pages. So they're pretty easy to navigate, but I'll just tab through and show you what we got.
Text to speech general preferences.
So we start
Link.
out with general preferences. That is where your startup preferences and things like that are. A couple basic things. I think your key and word echo are there.
Text to speech preferences. Link.
Text to speech, pretty self-explanatory. I can change what synthesizer, I can change my voice speed or my pitch or punctuation settings, all the general speechy stuff.
Screen magnification preferences. Link.
Screen magnification. Now, System Access does have some basic screen magnification support, and I'll demo that at the very end of this video. The main limitation is that it only goes up to 6x, because their thought is they're still primarily a screen reader, but they did introduce magnification in, I think, like 2008 or 2009. I did a little testing on that back in the day, and it comes in handy, especially if you're using an older computer like Windows XP or Windows Vista.
Braille preferences. Link.
Braille preferences. So it does support some Braille displays. Not all of them, but a lot of them it does.
Font and color preferences. Link.
Font and color, pretty self-explanatory.
Password
there.
manager. Link.
Password manager. I really don't use that.
Startup preferences. Link.
Startup preferences. There we go.
Manage my home server.
So startup preferences I can change, like do I want to start on the Windows logon screen, or then when I get into Windows I want to start. Now, manage my home server, that again I'll get into in probably the next video actually, but that's a pretty cool feature too.
Sync preferences. Link.
Sync preferences, again I'll get into that in a future video as well. You'll see how that ties in.
Socializer preferences. Link.
Socializer, again we'll cover that in the next video.
Manage machines. Link.
Manage machines. This will let you, like I said, if you pay, like I said, I did the $500 version where I get the 2 licenses and a thumb drive. Here I can, if I retire this computer, or this one just for whatever reason, knock on wood, if it blows up, I can go under here, deactivate this computer, and activate my new one. So I can manage my machines that way.
Close. Link.
And close. So those are your settings, or your preferences. Now, I will try to use I'll just briefly show you the magnification real quick. On this computer, on every other computer it works beautifully, but on this computer for some reason, every once in a while it doesn't work, so let's hope it does here.
Magnification is on.
Okay, it did. Every once in a while it goes black on me, so I don't
Google
know
Chrome,
why.
size 2.
But I can, there's my full screen magnification, and just like Windows Magnifier, I do not have font smoothing, so you're going to get the pixelization or the jaggies that you do on the Windows Magnifier as well. When I am using Windows 7, actually, I generally tend to prefer to use the Windows 7 magnifier and then just still use System Access. But you can, like I said, you can use it or whatever. You can do either one, because System Access does not install extra video drivers, and it does not disable Windows features. So you can in fact use the Windows Magnifier if you so desire, which I often do. So I'm going to kill the magnification.
Magnification is off.
And by doing that, I just did Control Modifier plus or Control Modifier minus to turn it off. And if I want to increase or decrease, I just do Modifier plus, Modifier minus. But if you have the Control in there, Control Modifier plus or minus turns it on or off. So, I mean, this isn't meant to be a tutorial. I just kind of want to give you a brief overview of System Access, which you may or may not be too familiar with. With that, I will leave this one, and we will talk to you guys next time.